Winter storm sets its sights on the Twin Cities.
Weather is a bit unpredictable, and so we're asking everybody to plan ahead.
And that includes where you should park before the snowplows come through.
In 2 minutes, what the city is asking you to do for your neighbors.
All eyes to a winter storm that moves in this afternoon and will last through Thursday. I'll let you know how much snow you can expect in your neighborhood.
And don't get stuck at the gate. What airlines are doing for passengers ahead of this huge storm.
It's Tuesday, February 21st. KARE 11 Sunrise starts now.
All right, everyone, take a close look at this map here at 6 o'clock from the National Weather Service. Those purple spots show parts of Minnesota, including the Twin Cities, in the extreme category for how severe this winter storm could be. Phase 1 happening just hours from now.
Guy, I've lived here most of my life, from youth to now, and I've never in my whole life have seen extreme category hitting us here in the Twin Cities. At least to memory. I can't remember the last time.
Yeah, not to be taken lightly as we brace for an historic winter storm that's on the way. But we're going to be chopping it up for you and breaking it down. So watch this. Let's get right into the graphics. Winter storm warnings in effect at 3 p.m. this afternoon in pink. Now that blizzard warning is overlaid by a winter storm warning. Blizzard warnings will go into effect tomorrow. However, you'll see that winter storm warning over central Minnesota going into effect today through Thursday. We'll see if this blizzard warning gets expanded, but for now, winds won't be a factor for this first round of snow. That's going to be the next round. So for the first round, this could dump a quick 4 to 7 on the ground by tomorrow morning. This is round 1 you're seeing on radar, and you can see things inching closer, but we'll see the Twin Cities. We'll find snow between noon and 2 p.m. It's possible in that 1 o'clock hour we can start to see some snowflakes fly, and once the snow gets going, it will not let up until tomorrow morning. That's why we issued tomorrow and Thursday weather warn days, because that's when this system will turn a bit more severe. We'll see substantial snowfall rates Wednesday evening through Thursday. So we'll continue to track things out for you this morning. Alicia?
Guy, thank you. I just filled Jason in on the Halloween blizzard, so now he knows what we could expect.
That was something.
Yeah, for sure something. The roads right now, nothing happening, which is great because we're going to need a break before what we're going to be dealing with the next couple of days. The map is green, and it's likely the greenest. We'll see it all week long. And of course, our top story, preparing you and preparing for the major storm system that is heading our way in just a few hours from now.
That's right. This morning, we want to break down some important information for you ahead of the storm that you need to know here, including where to park for free in Minneapolis, what both cities are asking homeowners to do as they get ready to plow, what's happening at the airport, and protecting your home in a major storm. So we have team coverage this morning. Both Cece and Jen are out live for us.
Let's get over to Jen, though, and that free parking information. Jen, what can you tell us?
Yeah, so this ramp behind me right here, this is one of the 5 places that the city has opened up for free parking so people can get their vehicles off the street so those plows can get through. This is the Vineland ramp. It's right underneath the Walker Arts Center. We're going to put up a map right now showing all 5 locations. We just mentioned the Vineland ramp, now open. There's also the Farmers Market lot and the Basilica lot. They are also open right now. And at 2 this afternoon, 2 other lots are opening. The Salvation Army lot on North 4th Street and the Lynn Lake lot on Garfield. We're told people can park there through Tuesday. It'll provide more than 1,600 parking spots so people can get those cars off the street. And people here in Minneapolis have already been dealing with single-sided parking still in place from our last storm. So definitely needed for them to get those vehicles off the street. In St. Paul, by the way, no plans yet for any sort of free parking spaces for people to get their vehicles off the street. But the city did say during one of our recent warm-ups, they used graders to get the roads a little bit wider. So they're thinking maybe it won't be as much as a problem for those plows to get through. However, they are asking people, hey, help out where you can. Do you have open space in your driveway? Let your neighbor park there just to get as many vehicles off the street as you can.
Definitely help out neighbors if you can. All right, Jen, thank you.
Let's get out to Cece now. She's in St. Paul with a plan to clear city streets. Cece, good morning.
Good morning. I mean, we all remember last month's storm and how really residential streets here in St. Paul really took a beating. But city leaders say, hey, we've learned our lesson from that. We've learned. And so now they've taken steps before the storm in preparation for this week's storm to really widen streets, as Jen just mentioned. But you can even see here where we are, streets are looking pretty good. So that will help residential streetwise. But St. Paul is also making sure every available driver, whether that's a driver for a heavy plow or a pickup truck, is available when needed. Once those main roads are passable, they'll move to the residential streets here once they get bad. Over in Minneapolis, leaders say there will be 60 plus pieces of equipment on the roads. There will also be daily alley plowing to try to make sure residents in trash routes can keep moving. But again, for both cities, snow emergency routes and other main roads are priority.
We're going to be plowing over probably 72 to 96 hours. And so we want to make sure that staff are rested and able to do their jobs.
Really, above all else, city leaders are saying that as this storm approaches us, to be patient as the plowing starts in the next few days here. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll have more on what the city is asking residents to do so that this process can go as smoothly as possible.
All right,
back over to you.
Cece Gaines reporting live in St. Paul. Thanks for that update.
And MSP is preparing for the worst as well. Take a look at this video. You can see some snow clearing crews were busy on runways yesterday, and the next few days going to get even busier out there. Several airlines have already started issuing weather waivers for flights over the next few days. Right now, there's a full list of waivers at care11.com. And first responders are already seeing more calls for help because of this weather.
Yeah, Hennepin EMS has responded to more than 50 calls for slips and falls on the ice just yesterday. They're expecting to see more car accidents and more cardiac events with people shoveling snow. Paramedics say this storm adds to an already difficult winter with all of our snow and ice.
But a large portion of our call volume is in the greater Minneapolis area, and navigating these narrow streets and stuff with the snowbanks up to here in some places. Yeah, that's a new experience.
First responders are asking property owners to help them out this week by keeping walkways clear of snow and ice. And of course, our storm coverage continues in our next half hour. But if you want more information right now, text the word snow to 763-797-7215 and we'll text you back a link with all of our coverage.
All right, let's get to some of your other headlines here at 6:07. After the deadly stabbing at Harding High School in St. Paul, the district superintendent says he may want to bring student resource officers back. Today, one group will rally against that idea. Minnesota teen activists are advocating against putting police officers back in St. Paul schools. In 2020, SPPS ended its contract with police after the killing of George Floyd. And in June, the school board cut SROs from all high schools. In response to this month's stabbing, the district also assigned 2 St. Paul police officers to work outside of 5 high schools. Tonight's rally starts at 5 before the school board meeting.
The House passed a bill that would ban conversion therapy for minors and vulnerable adults who identify as LGBTQ+. It's now moving on to the Senate. Critics say the bill is inconsistent as it doesn't address gender transition medical services.
We must move past the idea that queer people can choose their sexuality and gender identity and let them show up as their full, glorious, authentic selves.
We are not going to allow permanent changes to children that they can never get back.
In 2021, Governor Walz signed an executive order barring the use of state funds to pay for conversion therapy, but the controversial practice hasn't been outlawed in this state. Also at the Capitol today, state capitol, advocates for the tuition-free college bill will hold a rally. The bill's chief author, Omar Fateh, is scheduled to present it to a Senate committee after the rally. LeadMN.org says that Governor Walz's budget will raise tuition by 7% for the next 2 years. The new bill aims to make college tuition free in the state. All right, 6:09, turning to the forecast. As we keep saying, it is the calm before the storm as we take a live look outside. Guy is tracking when the snow is going to start coming because there is this little grace period right now, Guy, that folks can go out and get some stuff done.
Absolutely. And it's now through right around noon. Shortly after noon is when we can find the snow already starting to move in. So the evening drive, manageable, but still some slick spots out there. And snow kicks off between noon and 2 p.m. That is start time for us here in the metro. This graphic showing it well for you. I think even in the 1 o'clock hour, possible when things really get going. But again, between noon and 2 p.m. is when snow turns widespread, temperatures in the teens. Right now, radar is quiet, not working hard. That will all change as I zoom out. You'll see round 1 on radar this morning over portions of the Dakotas and Montana, the Northern Rockies. This will continue to slide eastward, and I'll be tracking it out for you all morning, but this is just all a part of round 1. Round 2 looks to be more substantial, higher snow totals, and wind starts to play a factor. So that's why it makes sense to make tomorrow and Thursday weather worn days, because that's going to slow us down big time. So snow kicks off this afternoon, 4 to 7 on the ground by tomorrow morning. And then we're talking about even higher totals, more widespread snow, wind speeds start ramping up Wednesday evening, Wednesday around 5, 6, that's when snow gets going, and that will last through about Thursday. So let's time it out for you. This afternoon, you'll see the snow incoming right around noon. Snow still just slightly off to the west. And again, this is right around noon. Snow still slightly to the west. Completely covers the Twin Cities metro. Snow continues through tomorrow morning, but at least we'll find a brief lull in the snow. That's great for the plows. They can really kind of catch up and take their time and to get ready and prepare for that next round. So let's put this animation right back into motion. Wednesday evening, the heaviest snow moves in. Wednesday evening will be, again, the heaviest part of the storm, the strongest part of the storm Wednesday evening through Thursday. Look how widespread, coating at least 95% of the state through Thursday morning, making travel very difficult. Finally, we shake this system by Thursday evening, and we crank up the wind gusts, so blowing snow could be a factor later this week.
And we've told you about the things to keep in your car and your home ahead of this big storm. And now we suggest add another tool to your pocket, our free Care 11 weather app. It has personalized forecasts. You can check the radar, and weather alerts get sent right to your cell phone. You can find it wherever you get your apps. Well, hey, it's Restaurant Week in the Twin Cities. There's a lot of great deals for foodies out there.
The question is, will the winter storm keep customers from dining out? We're going to hear from some of the owners.
I hope not, but likely. Then we're helping you save hundreds of dollars the next time your smartphone has an issue. We're going to hear from experts about the options you have when it comes to one of the most important pieces of technology in your life.
And speaking of your smart device, a lot of them are equipped with an SOS mode. We're going to dig into what that actually means when you're faced with an emergency.
You know what I don't like now when you turn your phone off? It's like the emergency line is first and the SOS, and like the
Okay,
off
so when you
button's
do
up.
that,
Yeah.
and